The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Week 1, Sunday, live. We'll be updating all the rankings, going through DraftKings pricing, going game by game. If we get to like 1/4 of that, then I'm going to be frankly pretty stunned. Grab yourself a coffee. We're at 9:30 for the next 90 minutes or so, and we'll be taking your viewer questions starting at 10:30. So load up the live chat if you want to get into a draw for $20 DK. What you do is smash the like button for the episode, leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section, not the live chat, the comment section. Tell me who the single one guy on DraftKings you need to play this week is, all right? And then you're in a draw. If you're listening to the audio version of this, which is going to be released at like 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, you want to go to the gym, crush it, listen to some early morning news. It's probably not what you're doing, but if that is something you're interested in, or just put it on after the fact, walk around the house with the kids, I don't know, make some breakfast, like I said, grab a coffee or two. You can do that, and if you leave a 5-star review and your DraftKings handle and something nice about the show, you will be in the draw for $20 DK as well. And I will be announcing the winners on tomorrow's live show, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, as we recap the week and go over the waiver wire. Garion Thorne is in studio.
Hello.
Got some injuries. You want to know about some injuries?
I would love to.
So here are guys that are likely in for the day. We got Odell. Looks like he's going to play. Stefon Diggs, probably going to play. Robbie Endicust with his calf injury, probably going to play. Mike Evans in the flu, probably going to play. Nick Bosa, likely to start for the 49ers against Tampa. Guys that are likely out, Adrian Peterson, because he's too old. They took his job. He's too old.
Can't take his stuff.
So we'll talk about Geis here coming up in a second. And Mike Badgley, poor Jeff. He's a cuss kicker. So if you play...
But you know who the 5 greatest kickers of all time are?
Who?
Ty Long.
You've been waiting on that one.
I really have.
That's a pretty good one. Jordan Reed, David Moore, Cam Robinson, Marcus Gilbert, and Cordy Glenn are all out, officially out, as are like AJ Green and Trent Taylor and those guys that we already knew about. And Byron Jones against the Giants is not going to start. He's going to play limited snaps. So Sterling Shepard, question mark?
I guess.
Maybe. Case of the maybes with Sterling Shepard? You probably just don't want...
I will say someone's going to be viable, and he's got the best case.
I'd say Ingram has the best case.
That's
Barkley has the best case.
In the receiving core. Although
Yes.
Barkley might catch 15 passes.
I certainly hope so, as I took him number 1 overall in our draft. Now I'm feeling like an idiot for not taking Zeke. And now like the news on Zeke is that he's just going to play full-time, and he should probably be like the number 1 running back. So if you have Zeke, start him. Don't be worried about it.
Yeah.
And then the games will start, and it will be like terrible.
I mean, look, if you've got Zeke,
You're starting.
you're starting him.
Yeah. All right. So we need to introduce the third member of the show. The Coin has the week off. So
He deserves it. He really does deserve it.
Well, we'll see. The Coin's already 1-0 for the year, like myself. So the last member of the injury report, currently dealing with a case of the SADS, it is Tim Undercust.
Tim Undercust.
You sad?
It's not my name. Well, I'm not sad. I'm actually in a good mood. It's football day.
It is football day, so I guess the first thing we do need to talk about, I recorded 2 shows this week that went out of date within like 30 minutes of posting them. Then people are like, why'd you just change the video? I'm like, it's a fucking video, you idiots. You can't just change it.
Why didn't you change the video?
Yeah, see, the Tims of the world really factor into that. So Antonio Brown, cut.
Yep.
And then
Not cussed.
Not cussed. No,
Cut.
he was cut by the Raiders. Tim got all fired up that he was going to go to the Jets, but instead he signs with the Patriots like everyone predicted he would. And now, Cuss, tell us your prediction for Antonio Brown.
I think he's going to make less of an impact than people believe. I mean, he may have 3 or 4 good games, but I think anyone who thinks he's going to be a top 15 receiver is a fool. So if you can get a relative value for him, as I managed to do, you should do that. Sell now while people are all intoxicated on Antonio Brown as Randy Moss. Neither of those things are true.
I mean, after this curse that you've put on him, he might be reverse cursed to being better than Randy Moss.
No, he is. I mean, the idea that Randy Moss was significantly taller and a better player, that the idea that Brown is somehow going to be, it's crazy. He's not playing this week. He'll probably play very limited snaps next week. It won't be until about week 3 or so that he's really got his sea legs under him. And then, like, the Patriots offense is very communistic, right? They distribute amongst many different people. So the idea that he's going to be a top 15 player, if you want to make that case, you have all your work ahead of you. you've chosen the hard side of the argument.
Can I
So
say
I feel
that
pretty good about
if you're using Randy Moss as a barometer of if a receiver is good or bad, that is a high measuring stick. But
Is he going to return second-round value? I don't think he is going to. Let me put it that way.
I mean, there's a couple different ways to look at this. I think that you're right in the sense the Patriots offense has a lot of weapons, but as they are every single season, they will be a top 5 team in terms of points per game.
They'll run a lot.
They'll run the ball a lot, and that's fine. But we also just can't pencil in Josh Gordon for 16 games at full health, 100% commitment. There's
But
not
Antonio
a-
Brown, we can pencil in for 15 games?
No,
I
but
don't
I'm
think
just
so.
saying if we're going to knock Brown because of Gordon's presence and how that could impact him in terms of volume, we also have to take into consideration that Gordon could just not be there at a particular point of the week.
Okay, but it wasn't just Gordon in my mind. It's Gordon, yes, but it's Edelman, it's White, it's Burkhead,
Did you
it's,
say
any
White?
number of people in it. Yeah, like there's all kinds of different people there. I don't know. Like if you think he's going to be a top team receiver, I guess go out and trade for him because those of us who had him, I would be happy to sell for 100 cents on the dollar, and that would be good.
I would make the estimation that his value is now higher than it's been at any point in the last 2 months.
And I agree with Tim. That's probably a mistake. Like, if he was
Yes.
just starting for the Raiders, I think that he would have more value than he currently does at the moment.
Yeah.
In terms of actual fantasy
Sure.
production. But, like,
Yeah, so in our league,
Yeah.
I traded him for Stefon Diggs.
who's already
I feel very
hurt, by
good
the
about
way.
that.
You traded for a guy who's
Diggs
like.
is playing.
No, I understand Diggs is playing, but I was talking to Dr. Jesse Moore, who I have on the Friday show.
Oh, his numbers.
Real doctor. But.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
you're also you're not that kind of doctor, though.
Correct.
And if people are wondering why Tim sounds real funky, he got Hurricane Dorian and he has no power.
It's true. It's true. I am on the phone because that's the dedication as the tribune of the people I have for the people. That despite my technological inconveniences, I'm here. I'm here for you.
So can you lead us through your morning? How do you prepare to do the show? What's your morning look like when you have no power?
I woke up, turned on the barbecue. I put a pot of water on the barbecue and boiled it. Then I took that hot water, took it to the coffee machine, and did like a pour over to get the water to drip through to make a cup of coffee. Then usually I bought, people like around here anyway, like to buy chips during a storm. I bought some Pop-Tarts. So I had a couple of sleeves of Pop-Tarts. I had my coffee. And then I got on my phone. I found one of those. I realized that I could plug my phone into my computer, even though the computer doesn't have power to it because I charged it. I charged up my phone.
I like that you just realized this. That's
it's not
savvy
that
stuff.
I always knew it, but I had forgotten until today. I was like, oh, yeah, right, I could do that. It just didn't occur to me, right? And so I plugged in my phone and started doing some research for the show, making some notes, and did some cleanup around the yard. There was just some branches, got some good physical labor in because that's as a man of the people. I don't shun physical labor like those elites, swanning around at TIFF, drinking their White Claw, pretending like they're better than everybody else. That's not me. I'm a man of the people.
White Claw?
No, White Claw is not
Okay,
available
that's
in
what I
Canada, so
thought,
Tim
yeah.
has no idea what he's talking about. All right, so
No, I will say though,
Okay.
just the picture he just painted, waking up at the crack of dawn, a big hearty breakfast, going around the yard and doing work. I think this is really an organic opportunity, and maybe even a sign from the Almighty himself that Tim should follow his heart and become a farmer.
become a farmer, and the lack of electricity seems right up Tim's alley. So let's get into Diggs for a second. Hold on, shut up. We're getting into Diggs. So you traded for him, so he's going to obviously suck this season. But this week in particular, we've seen this, Garion.
Yeah.
Every time that he pops up on an injury report, he's dealing with this hamstring injury, and yes, it does look like he's going to play, that he just isn't good. So I originally had him as I wanted to play a Cousins, Thielen, Diggs stack, but I adjusted my overall rankings, bumped Thielen up a little bit, and bumped Diggs way back. He's in the bottom end of the 20s right now, and I think if you are playing that stack, you probably just do it Cousins and Thielen, and then bring it back with Julio or Ridley.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch Diggs this week.
That's fine. Yeah, I would certainly do a Falcons stack in that game, not a Viking stack.
Well, you could game stack, just period.
Dang, just continue talking about Diggs.
But I think that while every injury is its own, separate entity, you're right. We've seen this just too many times. I think the stat is he has yet to go over 40 yards in a game where he's been on the injury report for the entirety of the week.
Sounds good.
Yeah, not great. So I think you're right in the sense where if you're in a season-long format, you're probably, Your hand is probably forced to play Stefon Diggs unless you're in like a 2 wide receiver league.
Well, maybe. Let me ask you this then. Would you go Diggs or Elshon Jeffrey?
Jeffrey.
I played Jeffrey. Would you go Diggs or Cooper Kupp?
I would play Diggs.
Cup.
We're not even asking you. You just traded for him. We know we know you're playing him, right? He's your number 1 receiver this week.
I am playing him, and I'm feeling not my number 1 receiver overall, but I'm feeling really good about him this week. I think he's going to score major, and I think he's going to have a good game.
Right? I mean, that's on the table. Just the history would say that that's not going to be the case. Are you worried about Mike Evans in this flu at all? Because I'm not.
No.
Are you worried about Beckham at all?
Not at all.
Nope.
Well, I'm worried that Beckham's going to get overthrown a ton and start screaming at his quarterback on the sidelines, but I'm not worried about his health.
It's good. I was worried that without access to the internet, you might resort to, wild takes that aren't based in fact. But it's nice to see that you've really stayed grounded, Tim.
So, Garion, with you.
Yeah.
Let's go through this here. Would you go Robert Woods or Diggs?
Woods.
Woods for me, too. All my rankings are in the comment section of this video. You just click them. You can go see the list that I'm talking about right now. T.Y. Hilton or Stefon Diggs? I'm playing T.Y. So here are the guys that I have after him. I have Kupp after him, Ridley after him, DJ Moore after him, Josh Gordon after him, Sterling Shepard, Will Fuller. Like, that's the range that I have Diggs in.
Yeah, like I said, he's probably, I would say, just guessing, you have him at wide receiver 26, 27?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're in a 3 wide receiver format, you're going to start him. 2 wide receiver, he's still flex consideration, but you probably got someone better.
Yeah, well, you might have Dede or Tyler Boyd or something like that.
Yeah,
and you just play
look,
them
Dede's
over
in a great spot. I fear Dede in DFS this week.
He might be the highest owned guy in the DraftKings.
He and Jameis are going to have quite the ownership this week, but
You playing Jameis?
not in DFS. No.
I'm working out because I'm playing a lot of these 5 max entries this year, so I'm just only going to make 5 lineups.
Yep.
So I have 3 Mahomes teams.
I do like Mahomes this week.
Of course. Well, I mean, it's a hot take alert.
Well, look, I just feel
I
this is going to be one of those weeks where his value is his ownership is at its lowest, which is always nice with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm playing him in fantasy, and I'm terrified.
You also picked the Jags to win.
Hey, you could redshirt him again this year, Tim.
Yeah, that is true. So Tim
I
talked
just
about
think
a
the Jags
Dolphin
are probably
stack.
going to win the game.
Tim talked about a Dolphin stack on the show. Did you do it?
I still stand by Dolphin stack. There's so much money available when you go Fitzpatrick, Wilson, Gesicki, or Fitzpatrick, Parker, Gesicki. There is so much money out there for you to put in like Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill. Like there is value to be had there, and if possible, try to flex a high 10 tier running back, which you want to do. Like there's so much value.
You're afraid of Patrick Mahomes, but you're all in on using a Dolphin stack to clear up the cap space to get Tyreek Hill into a lineup?
Well, no, that's an example of somebody you might want to play. You can play any number of top tier running backs or receivers when you do it that way. Again, it's about being plus EV.
Well, no. Well, let's talk about your plus EV for a second. So you're talking about this Dolphin stack. I know you built one lineup for DraftKings. Did you play the Dolphin stack? No.
Yes.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go. I actually don't hate Albert Wilson.
Neither do I, but here's the big picture problem with the Dolphins, and we don't have to get too far into this because they're awful and everyone knows they're awful.
I think they cover the spread.
Fine, but this specific matchup, and this actually speaks to your point about maybe them covering the spread, is the Ravens, if we go by last season's offensive philosophies, and there's no reason to think that they differ too greatly from that particular blueprint on offense, they were number 1 in the league in plays run per drive. They were number 1 in the AFC in time of possession per drive. The Dolphins last season were already among the worst teams in the league in plays per game and time of possession per game. You're going to end up in a situation where the Dolphins run 40 plays in this game. You cannot stack the Dolphins. Fitzpatrick could throw 3 touchdowns, but no one's going to have any volume on DK.
No, but the Albert Wilsons, Jakeem Grants of the world,
Sure.
like those type of guys, it only takes one juke and they're gone.
Fair.
So they're the guys that you would want to have.
Fitzpatrick might have roughly a second and a half to 2 seconds every time he drops back. So Albert Wilson's route tree is going to be very, very aligned with what he wants to do. But yeah, if the Dolphins run more than 50 plays this week, I will be shocked.
Actually, I did 2 Mahomes lineups, 2 Josh Allen lineups, and a Kirk Cousins lineup. That's my QB exposure this week. You just wait for the one we didn't really talk about, and Tim, maybe you can lend some insight to this. Robbie Anderson's dealing with this calf injury, so he's not going to be 100%. It has the potential for re-aggravation, and he's Robbie Andercuss to begin with, and he draws Tre'Davious White on the other side of the ball. Like I actually moved Jamison Crowder ahead of him in my rankings. Like I'm kind of down on Robbie here this week, Tim.
I agree with everything you just said. Every word of it. I agree. I have to play Anderson in my keeper league, but I'm not happy about it. I wish I had Crowder. I have to play him and Diggs in the same league.
Oh, and Mahomes.
And Mahomes.
What a guy.
Yeah, all terrible.
However, I did get a nice start from Cohen on Thursday, so I feel okay.
Yeah, but with Anderson, you've got White, who, as you mentioned, last season allowed, I think it was 0.93 points per route covered, which was among the best marks of any cornerback.
Oh, it's
in the
a real
league.
concern. I'm terrified. My stomach is already doing knots thinking about the game.
And I think Buffalo allowed the fewest opponent yards to receiving cores. It was like 117 yards per game.
I believe the Jets allowed the most. So, John Brown.
So are you saying the Bees?
I'm playing the Bees.
The
of course.
Bees!
Listen, on DK this week, he's below $4,000. Like, if you do, like, Tim talks about, like, if you do the Dolphin stack, it opens up so much money. You take, like, game stack the Bills Jets, it's probably not a great idea because the over-under is 41. But Josh Allen, Cole Beasley, John Brown, Jamison Crowder, then you can legit have studs at every other position.
Don't you feel like, and we talked a lot about this last year, don't you feel like Josh Allen's still kind of more valuable as his own stack?
Potentially, yes. That just by playing him as himself, if he hits his absolute upside, then sure. Then he's rushing for 3 touchdowns and 100 yards. But he's still going to bomb it. And he's still going to he's going to throw the ball at least, I don't want to say at least 20 times because I don't know about that. But if he does, those are the 2 guys he's throwing to. That's it.
My favorite trend through half a week in the NFL is teams coming out and saying, if we make this guy have to be a quarterback, he probably won't be effective this week. Josh Allen is definitely one of those guys.
It's true. So that game is actually down, Tim. It opened at 3. We talked about it at 3. It's now 2.5 for the Jets at home. People are steaming the Bills. I like the Bills in this game. They made my Super 7.
Yeah, they didn't make mine, but I'm taking the Jets. But I see it. I'm terrified of this Bills team. This Bills team could very well be the best team in the division, and that scares me.
Circle back to the Dolphins for a second. If there's a team that's going, because people are taking Baltimore, Seattle, Dallas, and Philly as there's like eliminator picks.
Yep.
I don't know if I would
take the Chargers.
And yeah, Tim is taking the Chargers.
Baltimore goes against one of the cardinal principles of Week 1, which is they're on the road. Although I will say, among the teams that have absolutely no home field advantage, you've got the Chargers
and
the Dolphins. I don't think that the Dolphins are going to win this game, but as we just talked about, I think it's sort of, the anti-basketball principle of there's going to be such limited possessions and limited plays called in this game that when you shorten the time of possession, when you shorten the clock, weird stuff can happen. So there's more risk in that game than any of the other games. Although Seattle too is also scary. It just feels like Seattle plays with their food.
I took Seattle as my eliminator pick. And it doesn't worry me, but it worries me that everyone's taking basically Seattle. They're going to be the most popular pick.
Would you feel comfortable betting Seattle? I think they closed at -8.5. Like, that's not something that intrigues me.
They're 9.5.
They're 9.5.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
They made my Super 7. I like them this week.
Yeah, I think they have a better chance of blowing out Cincinnati than like Dallas does the Giants.
I would agree with that.
Like to cover the massive spread, and
or the Eagles, or the Eagles, the Redskins for that matter.
I have less worry about that one.
I mean, in terms of spread.
Oh, sure, okay.
Yeah, like, it feels like a backdoor cover
spread,
because
the Skins have such a good defense that they could stymie Philly for a while.
I don't know if they have such a good defense, but it's good enough.
They're pretty decent defense.
Over under plays into the game when Philly has the ball that they throw it deep to Deshaun in a revenge game.
3.
If you're gonna, that is
15.
That might actually be the sneakiest stack of the week.
Eagles
stack. Because I can't figure out what to do at running back with them. Like, if I had to play one, it'd be Miles Sanders. But Meany made the good point is they're already trying to get rid of Jordan Howard.
Yep.
They're trying to get Melvin Gordon for him. So they might just say, you know what, we'll save Sanders for later in the year. And we'll just pound Jordan Howard. He might have like 3 touchdowns.
I honestly think if you ask Doug Peterson, he doesn't even know the difference between any of his running backs. They're just like these homogenous blurs. And they just have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on them. And he just sends them out there.
So they're essentially like henchmen for Batman bad guys in the 60s.
Yeah. Just all about...
they're very interchangeable.
Yeah. Just needed fresh legs. Doug Peterson loves fresh legs.
On the other side with AP not playing and Darius Geis, I bumped him up a bit, but I don't know how effective he can be in this game. He has to score. Yeah. Or maybe he's going to be used in the passing game like we don't think he's going to.
That's the thing.
I still think if Chris Thompson's still on this team, which he is, and he's $3,500 on DraftKings as well, that it just seems like a perfect game script for him, doesn't it?
No, I would agree. I would 100% agree.
So as it pertains to Geis, like I did bump him up in the rankings, but like would you play PPR, and we talk about PPR on the show, would you go Duke Johnson or Darius Geis? I'd probably still play Duke.
Yeah, I'd play Duke.
Tim?
No, at that point I would play Geis. I would play Geis at that point.
All right, Marlon Mack or Geis?
Mac.
Tevin Coleman or Geis?
Kevin.
Tevin.
I'd play Tevin too. Would you play
Just more
would you
points in
play
that game.
Coleman or Breida?
I would play Coleman.
I would play Coleman as well.
I would play Coleman.
I do think that is going to be a 60-40 split, though. Like, I don't think Coleman's going to be...
But I don't know which way the 60-40 works. I think that could
Sure,
go game to game.
I think Coleman will get the first crack at 60. But I'm with you. I
There's
think
going
that
to be
is
so
a
many
situation
points
that's
scored
up
in
the
that
air.
game.
Maybe.
Like, that's a game where 60 points are going to get scored at least. I think it's like a
Is Diggs
32,
going to score
31
40
type
of them?
game.
No, he's talking about Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Tampa 49ers now.
Tampa, San Francisco. I think there's just going to be a ton. Like, I think that's a 60-point plus game.
Here's-
You want any piece of that offense on either side.
I'm sort of intrigued by taking the under in that contest just based off the fact that
Everyone's on the over.
everyone's on the over, but also if you look at in terms of adjusted man games lost, these were the two most injured defensive units in football last season.
And the
You just have to think through sheer health normalization that each defense is a little bit better.
Well, Tampa might be marginally better, which is not saying much. Like the defense, especially the pass defense and the pass rush for the Niners, should be a lot better. And if like that offense in Tampa Bay looks really good on paper, but Tim constantly brings up how bad the Browns' offensive line is. That's going to like absolutely submarine their offense. Tampa, you can say exactly the same thing for.
Yeah.
That they can't block. So that might be problematic. I think the Niners D at $2,200, if like you're scumming down,
Sure.
and you need to save money, like playing against Jameis, he can score, he can throw 4
It
touchdowns.
doesn't matter if they score 28 points.
That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think they get enough pressure on him to knock him down and force him into some bad decisions. Would you go Geis or Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry.
I go Geis.
Guys,
Would you go Devin Singletary or Geis?
Guys.
Geis.
Singletary.
I don't think you want any Bills running backs. And I don't think you're going to be able to predict
I'm
who it's
terrified.
going to be.
Look,
I think I think he's going to carry the load for Buffalo, to be frank. We'll see, but I think it's going to be like a 70-30 split. He's going to be the guy.
It might be, but I mean, Frank Gore is just there for stabilization. He'll get in the game. Yeldon will get in the game. If I had to ask you, you had to bet one person to lead the Bills in rushing today, wouldn't the answer be Josh Allen?
100%.
Yes, I agree.
And the thing too is, I mean, this is a situation where I get clarity now that it's not my backfield because I spent all last year going, Frank Gore's done. There's no way Kenyon Drake won't get a majority of his touches in the This is just what Frank Gore does. Coaches like Frank
you know that
Gore.
Gore has like 15 straight seasons of 500 rushing yards or more?
I believe it's 600 because 500 at the very least is like a round number that makes sense. It's always, oh, that was the 15th straight year Frank Gore's rushed for 600 yards. Congratulations, Frank Gore.
Hey, you play 16 games every year, Frank. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Well, I think this season he's going to move into second place all time in rushing yards, isn't he?
Good for him. Listen,
Which is crazy.
The guy keeps getting them checks. He doesn't really do much, but he does just enough to stay around. He must, the moment he retires, he's someone's running backs coach, right?
Oh, sure.
Like, immediately. Like, that's
Sure.
why he's still in the league. That's
Again,
why he keeps getting
Or
these
he
jobs.
should be a conditioning coach because clearly he has figured out how to stay healthy in a position that no one stays healthy at for that long.
Well, the move is just don't always be starting.
Yeah.
Only
Also,
get like
don't-
7 touches a game.
Don't move so fast that when you fall down, you fall awkwardly. Just fall.
Speaking of those Dolphins,
We're talking a lot about the Dolphins.
well, they're a big unknown to me. Like, on the other side of the ball, Hollywood Brown's going to start. So Miles Boykin and Hollywood Brown are going to start. Like, I'm just not sold on this Ravens offense. That if this game is close, I know the defense is good for Baltimore, but how many touches does Drake get in this game? Like, can you play Drake?
I think you could play Drake. I think it would take a particular, like you're not gonna play him in anything smaller than a 12. But as we saw last season, a majority of his best games came when the Dolphins lost because his entire second half was just filled with dump-off receptions. Again, though, I just do worry about the volume of the Dolphins' offense. I just don't think there's going to be a lot there. And if he's splitting snaps with Balaj, you might be looking at 9 to 11 touches for Drake. And if you're playing him, you better hope that 6 to 7 of those are targets.
All right, let's jump into some of these spreads, the adjusted spreads. We've already done the pick show. You can still watch that for all the spreads that are the same. But, Tim, Falcons, Minnesota is now 3.5 for Minnesota at home. That opened at 4. I still like the Vikings in this game. Have you flip-flopped at all now that you're all in on Stefon Diggs?
No, I have picked the Falcons in the game. I still like the Falcons in the game. I think the Falcons are going to win a close one because I think they're still the better team. I don't know what more to say. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I think it's going to come down to in this situation where you're giving me more of a field goal with a team I think is slightly better, who, as a road team, gets to play a game in a dome, I'll take it. Oh, my power came on.
You just made Paul do a sig cough.
You all right, Paul?
Oh, man.
Do you still want to do this from the phone, or do you want to log on the normal way that you log on?
Well, I would be happy to log on the normal way, but I'm not sure whether that would throw off your sound system and such.
What do you think, Paul? Should we boot Tim from the call and get him to join the other way so he sounds better?
Just tell him to hang up his phone, and I will send him the link right now.
There you go. Hang up your phone, and he'll send you the link, and you'll be back in. So we'll put Tim on mute. Garion, Vikings and Falcons. Dalvin Cook looks like he's going to be one of the higher-owned guys. Yeah. Like, DraftKings strategy overall this week. Do you got to pay up for running back? Because it feels like you do. Like, I don't want to... You can play Miles Sanders. He's super cheap, but he might be an absolute dud. You can play Geis. He's super cheap, but he might be an absolute dud. Then you can play Jordan Howard. Who knows? You can play Chris Thompson. Who knows? It just does. It seems like Chris Carson is the bottom end of like the good running backs you can trust. And he's 5,700.
I would throw Eckler in there too. I trust Eckler.
I don't trust Eckler. I think the Colts D is good.
I also think the Colts D is good, but I just think this is the perfect game script for Eckler. They don't have an offensive line, much like we talked about with the Dolphins and how they're going to have to utilize short passes. We're talking about a Colts team that last season led the AFC in targets allowed to opposing backfields at 8.8 per game. We know that's Eckler's role. Even if we're unsure about how this split breaks down between him and Justin Jackson, we know that Eckler is going to be the pass-catching running back. And I think it's safe to assume that he was going to get a majority of the touches and snaps anyway.
If you're going to play Eckler, I feel like you need to be convinced that he's getting the goal line work. Because all the other guys above him that are marginally close in price are the goal line backs.
I guess.
Chris Carson is the goal line back. He's slightly more expensive.
I still just think his work in the passing game is going to be enough for me. I would be shocked if he didn't catch 5 passes in this game.
Yeah, but is that enough?
I would say with 10 to 14 carries tacked onto that, and maybe a couple come at the goal line. We saw him get goal line work in the preseason. That's not the be-all, end-all, but I don't think Justin Jackson is, some guy where, we're going to have to get Austin Eckler out of the game. I actually think it's going to be more of a situation where whoever happens to be on the field, not that the Chargers run like the highest tempo offense in the world, that they can't switch out players, not that Phillip Rivers is running to the line to gotta get that snap from the 3-yard line going for the defense sets. But I just think if it happens to be Justin Jackson's series, he's gonna get the work. If it happens to be Eckler's series, he's gonna get the work.
You can take the risk, and obviously you're gonna have to take risks at some point in your lineup. I think I would prefer to pay down at receiver this week.
Yeah.
Or even tight end. Like, this is the one thing that we didn't talk about, and obviously Darren Waller is not involved in this main slate for DraftKings. But if we're just thinking about... Oh, you're back! Good to hear from you, pal. We're talking about Waller, hardly newer.
Oh, yeah, I don't like him this week.
Oh, so should I move him above Delaney Walker then, since Tim just said that?
I rather like Delaney Walker this week.
So yes is what you're saying.
I have Walker ranked as my 3rd tight end.
Oh my God!
Why?
After Kittle and the fellow in Kansas City, my mind is blanking on.
Kleiss?
Yeah, Kleiss. Sorry, after those two, I think Walker's going to have a ton of targets today. I think he's going to be their main release valve. I think the Titans are going to be step for step with Cleveland in a lot of ways, and I think he's going to have a big day.
That's a spread that really scares me, just because...
We took the Browns, and I think the Browns are going to win by a touchdown, but I can easily see the Titans. I mean, if Mariota is under pressure, he's going to hit Walker a bunch of times. I think Corey Davis is a live option. And if Mariota struggles and they go to Tannehill, then all bets are off, because Tannehill's a darn good quarterback too. So
that was the most John Gruden sentence I think you've ever said. That Tannehill is a darn good quarterback.
We still don't even really know with the Walker should be fine coming off the injury, but he's an old man.
He's super old.
He's an old man. And they signed Tim's best bud in the world to be the release valve and Hump Daddy,
who is on my DK team.
So
it's a real stars and scrubs approach.
This is what I'm talking about, though, as it pertains to the lineups. Like, here's some guys. I listed them in my cheat sheets up on DK Playbook right now. So as sub 4K guys you can put into your lineups. Here's who I have. And we'll kind of go one by one here. I have Miles Sanders. If you wanted to play him to pay down, he's 39 and Chris Thompson is 35. I think those are the two running backs. If you were to use one, I prefer Chris Thompson, and he's cheaper.
I agree.
But that would be my lean. Out of those two, Tim, which one would you go with?
Oh my goodness, it's so close. I don't know.
I just don't know how. I don't know. Well, at least he's honest about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sanders' role in the passing game is going to be, and I know that everything Thompson does will be through the passing game. So if I'm going to gamble on one of these guys, give me the guy that gets the full point for the PPR.
It just seems like if there's any, as hard as it is to predict the roles and the volume in Philadelphia's backfield, it still just seems like if I had to bet on anything, I would bet on Darren Sproles being in there on third downs.
Or potentially
that's
near
fair.
the goal line.
Yeah.
Because he does that too.
Yeah.
But if one of them scores 3 touchdowns, the answer is Miles Sanders.
Sure.
But that's very unlikely. Yeah. So guys from down there, like Jamison Crowder's 4,100. I do like him.
Yeah,
the Bees.
Albert Wilson we talked about.
The
Beasley we
Bees.
talked
Albert
about.
Wilson.
You said so many bad things about Jamison Crowder. I think we should call you to account on that.
He basically led the show by saying he liked Jamison Crowder.
That's true.
Yeah, but I didn't actually call him out for it after the way he just excoriated me when the Jets signed him, and I said nice things. You're like, he's
No.
awful.
No. That is not what happened. Again, you're living your truth and misremembering what actually happened because you proclaimed Jamison Crowder to be a top 20 receiver in the league, and then Robbie Andercuss was top 10.
This team is a bomb squad.
Who do you think the ridiculous one is here, Garion? Anyway, Trey Quinn.
I don't know.
Trey Quinn at 34, maybe P. Rich. Like, the Eagles secondary sucks. It's the
Yeah.
one part of their team that's not good.
I could be enticed by Richardson.
And that's more big play potential, but I think
Sure.
Quinn's just going to absorb a lot. I like Beasley more than Quinn, though. Damian Willis, I think, is super intriguing. Just because he's $3,000. I have no idea what to expect from him, but projections would say. At least the spread would dictate that Cincinnati's going to be down. He's starting on the outside opposite John Ross. Boyd's going to be in the slot. If they're going to throw, maybe Clowney just destroys their entire game.
But if
'Cause,
there's any question marks
Glenn
on,
is out too.
on
so-
Seattle's defense, it is the secondary. They don't have a sterling secondary. Yeah.
Not no more. Just if you're taking a shot with someone.
Sure.
Like Beasley, Trey Quinn.
Could you see a situation where you put Andy Dalton into a lineup today?
No.
No?
I'm only playing 5. If I was playing
Look,
150,
just in
sure.
terms of like a GPP flyer.
I'd probably just play Brissett.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just so much cheaper.
Yeah, and he's got there's more options to success.
Although he might be the highest known quarterback in the Millie Maker.
people like Brissett a lot.
Well, he's so cheap.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is you can't really talk yourself into too much value this week. Like, I'm just kind of reeling off these one guys. If you play one of these guys, everyone's kind of cheap. Like, there's good values that are cheap. If you go to tight end, Jeff Swaim is $2,900. But what about Vernon Davis at 27? If Jordan Reed is out,
Yeah.
it's a game.
Hard pass.
Why do you hate VD?
And I usually liked Vernon Davis. He's been a long-time staple for me. I don't like him this week. I don't. I think that Philadelphia will be able to key on a couple of guys that are important, and they are going to understand that one of the people that the Redskins are going to lean on is going to be a veteran and successful tight end. I just think they're going to take him out of the game. That's my opinion.
Would you play any of these guys in cash games?
No.
I play Beasley.
I would say
If I had to pay down, I'd try to get to Crowder. Like if I could do the 41 instead of the 36.
Of that group, I probably trust Wilson the most.
Really, you trust Wilson the most? If I told you only one of these guys got 9 targets this week, I think the answer is Beasley.
Really, I just don't. I can never look at until I actually see it. I just can't really look at Buffalo's passing situation and say,
Is it because he's a white?
well, I mean, look, you already said that it would be surprising if Josh Allen throws the ball more than 20 times. So now we're talking about would Cole Beasley have a 45% target share in Buffalo's offense
Yes.
this week?
Yes, I believe he would.
And look, I'm not saying that's impossible, but what I am saying is we know through 9 years of data that Ryan Fitzpatrick peppers his slot receiver. Their offensive line is only going to allow them to have these short little 3-step dropbacks.
They're draft
That's
backs.
why I said like that
backs.
Wilson is a good player in a stack.
Again, I would not stack the Dolphins. If there's one Dolphin I like playing this week, it's Albert Wilson, and that's
Well, like I
it.
said, I'm looking at my roster right now, and I've got 3 of them in there.
He's gonna win somehow. Watch.
I do. I have
Do you-
Fitzpatrick,
do you-
I have Gesicki, and I have Wilson.
Like Gesicki is a live option for 0 points.
Oh, 100%.
He might not even be their starting tight end.
Sure, but this allows me to put Barkley, McCaffrey, and Mixon into my lineup.
See, Tim did really well in these DraftKings contests that we played between each other last year because he just played McCaffrey every week. It was a really solid idea.
I know.
McCaffrey and Humphreys were staples of my team.
He also, we did tend to do these contests the weeks where Hump Daddy became a thing.
Yeah,
it's true.
And Tim's been all in for 4 years. So, like I said, the defense that I like from the very bottom.
Tim's like the guy who actually bought Bitcoin in like 2012
You think
and then
Tim
did not sell.
Yeah, do you think Tim can buy Bitcoin?
Could he figure out how to buy Bitcoin? Well, he does have his power back.
Even
that's a
if
good
I
first
could,
start.
I wouldn't. I have a moral objection to Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, you are a gold bug.
Yeah, well, let's watch it. Like Bitcoin's been like fluctuating a little bit now that Tim is just anti-Bitcoin. It's going to go way up. It's like the Wendy's stock all over again. The Niners at 2,200. I do like the Lions a lot at 2,900, and that's a game that I kind of wanted to focus on. I narrowed down my betting card to I like the Lions minus 2.5 at Arizona. I like the Colts plus 6.5
I am 100%
at the
with
Chargers.
you on that.
And
These are both opposite on my Super 7.
Love it.
like that a lot. And are you playing the Super 7, Garen? You're not, are you?
I'm not, but if I can still get in, I'll do it this morning.
No, you can't.
Can't?
Closed on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
There's a new feature where you actually have a super lock on your
Yeah,
thing.
I
Oh, you get
noticed
double
that.
points?
You get double points
Oh,
for
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, just so the people are aware, I lay my cards on the table. I'll tell the people who are in my Super 7 so that I don't have to keep referencing it. Because people seem to want to know what picks I have made and what picks I haven't made. So
I wonder why that is.
anyway, I have the Cardinals, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Dolphins, and the Falcons. Those are my 7.
All right. I have the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Bills, Detroit, Indy, the Rams, and Denver. Because Denver's a pick 'em on this. They're
Yeah.
not -3. They're
Yeah.
a pick 'em. So I decided to shift from Indy to Denver because I like that
No
line.
receiver has had more line value in history than Antonio Brown, apparently.
Well, it was -1. It's -2.5 now.
Yeah.
It started
I'm
off as
curious.
Raiders -1.
Just because I also like the Chiefs this week, but I can see how one would make the argument against it. I'm curious why you like them.
Why I like them?
Yeah.
It's the same reason I like the Rams. I think they're both 2 of the 5 best teams in football.
Yeah, and that's my thought process too.
And the Chiefs just went back up. The Chiefs had gotten down to -3.
I know,
They were
people-
-4.5.
people
It
like
got to
them.
-3. It's now
People like
back.
Jacksonville a
The
lot.
Sharps are now just pounding the Chiefs.
Okay,
That's
good.
why.
No, because
Jacksonville has become the square side. This
Exactly.
year. Everyone's
I
on
think it's the
Jacksonville.
square side and the sharp side. I don't think there's going to be much money on Kansas City at all. I think both the public and the sharps are going to be betting Jacksonville.
Well, the line movement right now that it's gone from 3 to 3.5 this morning leads me to believe that people have come in and just fired at the Chiefs. The Rams are down to -2.
that's
I
surprising.
think that the Rams are in, I wouldn't say dire straits, but I think they're in more trouble on the road to Carolina than
Yes. And Carolina also last season was they had some of the most like diametrically opposed splits when it came to home performance and road performance. And they were much better at home.
And this one changed. This was 1.5 this morning. It just changed back to 2. So now people are coming in on the Rams.
Yeah, look, I think that's a perfectly fine way to bet week 1 specifically too. Is just
Who are the good teams?
who are
Bet
the
on
good
them.
teams, and that's why I like the Chiefs. I mean, even when it was 3.5, I think it was 11 of their 12 wins last season came by more than 4 points, and like 8 of the 12 were 10 plus. I'm with you. I'm
These
just
2 teams played. It was hook and crook, and it was desperation for the Chiefs against Jacksonville, if memory serves.
no, you're correct. They struggled that game, but
The Jags, if you look historically, played really well at home early in the year. Remember the Patriots came in there in week 2 or whatever last year, and Jacksonville took them apart. Like the Jags are an interesting team to take at home early. It's much hotter and more humid in Jacksonville than people give it credit for. I think it's a very tough environment to come in and play your first game, and I think the Jaguars are precisely set up to knock the Chiefs out and surprise people.
I don't think this game is a lock by any means.
no, I like.
I
like
worry
the
about
Chiefs.
it, and I think that there's a reason why everyone seems to be picking Jacksonville to either win straight up or definitely cover that 3.5. I just think it's a very short spread to give Mahomes in what could be the best team in football. Like if one
Yeah.
team's going to go and light up the Jags,
No,
it's
I
going to
agree.
be Mahomes.
I agree.
Do you worry about Tyreek Hill with Jalen Ramsey on him?
Not really. I feel like
I made one stack that has, because I use basically Kelsey in every lineup. I think Kelsey's going to crush them. Catching Kelsey,
Yeah.
catching touchdowns. But Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill. But I took Hill out of one and played Watkins in the other one.
I think that's fine. I would just think that Ramsey is a fantastic shutdown corner, obviously. But Hill is such a specialty player Like, you can be the best coverage corner in the world, but you could just not be fast enough to keep up with
No
Tyreek
one is
Hill.
fast enough. If he beats the coverage, the ball's going to be there. He's gone.
Like, if he doesn't get a release, if he gets a release, it's done. So
he's almost a guy you should play on DraftKings every single week.
Oh,
just
yeah.
regardless.
He's got the highest upside of almost any.
I think he has the highest
skill
upside of
position
any receiver, just because of the potential for 80-yard touchdowns that
Yeah.
comes along with him.
player. I agree.
The Rams game, if you had to start one Rams receiver, I think it would be Woods.
To me, it's always Cooks. I think Cooks is the most talented, so I'm always going to pick Brandon.
It feels like Woods is the most consistent. I do agree with Tim that, like, if you're shooting for upside, not to say that
No,
Cooks is inconsistent.
Woods, I think last year it took him to like week 13 to not catch 4 passes in a game. Like, he's got the highest floor of any of the receivers. Although you could argue that Kupp also has an incredibly high floor. I just think they're all perfectly fine plays. I mean, you look at Goff's numbers last season when Kupp was in the lineup and he had all 3 of those options. And I know there's a lot of talk about them not running 12 as much as they did last season because they're kind of scared of it now based on the Super Bowl.
Rams
But
also aren't good on the road.
fine.
Particularly
But
Goff.
in
Goff
the
is not good on the road.
6
Well,
games,
how about just Goff might not be good?
Fair.
That's probably the better question.
in the 6
Well,
games,
then that's all the more reason to go with the Panthers.
in the 6 games, Goff played with Kupp. He averaged 350 yards passing. So I think they're pretty good when they have all their weapons.
And they do. Gurley is my single favorite running back play on the DraftKings slate for his price this week.
What do you think his ownership's going to be?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Just because I know everyone's owning Dalvin Cook, everyone's owning Chris Carson, Nick Chubb is going to be super
everyone's owning
popular,
Chris
Le'Veon
Carson.
Bell is going to be super popular. That now that the Zeke news has come out, people will pay up for him. People will pay for Barkley. People will pay McCaffrey. He's in this weird in-between spot at $7,900, and people are still like iffy coming into the year. Week 1 for like trying to project ownership, I think has a lot to do with preseason fantasy football drafts. It's probably the only week that gets affected by it, but people were down on Gurley in the draft. They'll be down on him in week 1. And I was one of the people that was down on Gurley coming in to the season. Like, I don't own him on any of my teams, but if there's a week where he's going to be healthy, it's going to be week 1 coming off 8 months rest.
Yeah.
How can one justify spending 79 on him when you could get Johnson at 77?
Because Gurley's better than David
I'm not
Johnson.
so sure that he is. I mean, the fact that Gurley couldn't play in the playoffs tells me that that his problem is significant.
I mean, that
And-
was
and
7 months ago.
What Tim is saying right now is the reason
And
to
that's the
play
thing,
Todd
I
Gurley.
think a lot of people, for the reason you pointed out, which is just the price disparity and how the rankings work out, but also I think a lot of people are going to take the approach, especially in DFS, where you don't have to draft him for the duration of the season. People are going to say, I don't need to play him this week. Let me see what happens, and I'll readjust
That's
my
the
thought
whole
process
thing.
going into week 2.
You want to be a week.
In my opinion, the first question is to ask, do no harm. First, do no harm.
Well, you are a doctor.
Yes,
So.
we know this, and although he's constantly doing harm to himself, but Gurley has the type of upside that he's the guy that you want to be a week early on, not
Yes.
a week late on.
Now,
He's not a wait and see guy. Now he might submarine your lineups.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because I know a lot of people were getting excited. There was that report that came out that he will not have a snap limit this week. That is not the same thing as a coach coming out and saying, we're going to play this guy his normal allotment of snaps.
Sure.
That just means we're not coming out and giving a set limit on the amount of snaps he's going to play. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, here we go. It's happening with Todd Gurley. No, nothing changed with that statement. It was the most meaningless nothing statement that could possibly happen. So I think you really have to take a step back there, but I agree with you. This is the week to get on Gurley if you just want to have a differentiating effect with Gurley, which was something that you rarely got last season.
Yeah, and if you're going to differentiate, the best move, especially at the elite level, is you have to figure out the path for them to break the slate. And we know Gurley's upside is a slate-breaking performance. It's 3 touchdowns. It might not even be 200 yards. It might be 105 yards, but the Rams' offense chugs along so well, he gets all the goal line touches, and boom.
Heavily involved in the passing game.
And it's a situation, too, where they probably just want to say, fuck you. McVay's like, yeah, you think Gurley sucks? Look, he's great. Now he'll be in a split for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Look, I do stand by my belief in the long term, for season long, that he is not going to be someone who, like last year, was seeing 85 to 90% of the
Sure,
snap work.
this week I think that's the case.
This week it could happen, because you're right. If he's ever going to be healthy, it's right now.
We got viewer questions coming up in 15 minutes, so don't even chuck them in yet. Tim, how many bans would you like from the chat this week?
I think I've earned at least 3.
I'm going to give you 2 this week. We have to do some sort of merit
gonna say,
system
we
where
should-
during the week he can earn bans for the Sunday
We need
show.
it like, when they play Plinko on The Price is Right, and you have to play those little tiny pricing games to figure out how many Plinkos, like little chips
Slots?
you get. Chips, yeah.
Yeah, Funko chip.
Yeah, we have to make him complete some sort of task to earn a ban.
Well, he went out this morning and picked up all the
pick up
foliage
sticks,
off his
yeah.
lawn. He made coffee with his barbecue.
Yep.
So there's two right there.
He's had a rough morning.
Antonio Brown went to the Patriots. I'm shocked you're not more upset about
I
that.
can't be held responsible for any of that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you're definitely the one to blame for this.
I
want to
take no responsibility.
Well, you never do. That's part of the problem. Darren Waller. I want to go back to this for a second because we
yes.
started it like 25 minutes ago and didn't get there. I have him at number 12. So I have him behind Vance, Njoku, Delaney Walker. Then it's Waller, Hooper, Ebron, Swaim, Tyler Eifert, Vernon Davis. That's like 12 to 18 in the tight end rankings. But I wouldn't go out of my way to plug him into my lineup over I don't want to say a legit tight end, but a tight end that like I didn't take in the last round. So I'm playing Ingram, I'm playing Howard, I'm playing Vance and Njoku and Delaney. But those are really the guys.
Yeah.
Angus
I would probably still play Hooper over him just because I do think that's going to be a high scoring game. But I
think
guess there's a path. There's a much more obvious path to volume for Waller.
That's the thing. I think that PPR wise, especially the floor for Waller in this game against Denver, especially how Denver like can't cover tight ends, and Waller super fast by the way.
Point.
He's got real quicks.
I know. I watched Hard Knocks.
Yeah, real quicks. He had what was it? They had I forget who tweeted it out the other day, but they had like routes above 20 miles per hour ran during the season at tight end. Kittle led everyone with 3 on like 800 routes run. Waller was second on like 40 routes run
Wow,
with 2.
it's impressive.
So high
yeah.
percentage when you're looking at per capita. Waller, very fast.
He's got quicks.
So, yeah, it'd be Waller, Swaim, and Vernon Davis of, like, the streamable tight ends
Yeah.
for me.
No, again, Vernon Davis, I think, is at a very, very solid spot.
Are there any other guys, like, just randomly that you like this week that we haven't brought up before we jump back into some of these spreads?
I'm trying to think. I think, like I said, I'm scared off of Westbrook. I don't think I would invest as heavily in Jacksonville as everyone seems like they're going to this week in DFS.
What are the odds the Cowboys go out of their way to give Jason Witten a touchdown?
50-50.
I think if you're talking about super cheap tight end, Witten's not a bad call because you just have to assume they're going to try to feed him a touchdown. Like, I mean, if you're going to spend nothing on tight end, you might as well take. I think he's a better flyer than a lot of those guys.
I don't think I would want to play him as it pertains to fantasy, but I'm looking at first touchdown, 16-1 Jason Witten.
I think there's supreme value in that.
Anytime touchdown, 3-1.
Less value in that, but that's indicative that that the books are sort of thinking the same way we are. So if you're going to pay for peanuts for a tight end in the DFS play, he's not a terrible grab.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's only been 2 situations we've ever seen this before. Gates and presumably Witten.
And we'll see it in week 10 when Gronk's back with the Patriots.
But he'll still be good.
yeah, he will still be good. Although it looks like he's like slim and trim Gronk now.
He's
I'm
dropped
going to
like
lay down
40
marker right
pounds.
now. Gronk is
and
not coming back.
I mean, that's not really that hot of a take. The guy's retired.
Yeah.
He's never coming back.
I actually think Antonio Brown signing with the Patriots, I know a lot of people have used this as justification that Gronk will come back. I think that probably means it's more likely he won't come back because they just won't need him to.
So we're on the same page. We're not playing Diggs or Robbie Anderson on DK.
No.
If you can find a way not to start Robbie Anderson your season long, I would.
How do you feel about Marvin Jones?
Marv? Let's talk about that game.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people...
I like this game a lot, and Tim's obviously on the other side of it. He likes the Cardinals. I get that
quite a bit,
case,
actually.
but they might be just god-awful.
Yeah.
And they lost an offensive lineman already again this week, so now they have 3 rookies starting in the secondary. Their defense is putrid. Their offensive line sucks. And we don't know if Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury are any good. Tim thinks Cliff Kingsbury sucks anyway, yet now he's backing the Cardinals?
Only because there's value on a home dog when it's the Lions, who aren't that good anyway. Laying 3 points on the road, I think that is ludicrous. I think the value is on the cards. It's just a straight play against the Lions. Give me the home dog at home.
Here's what I'll say, though.
Hold on.
Sure, go ahead.
On the Wednesday show, Tim talked about like home dog. And then he got really triggered because I asked him if home dogs cover at a huge rate or like a 50-50 rate. And then he was like, Obama, I hate Obama. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about, man? People can go back and watch that. But it turns out since 2003, I believe it is, home dogs cover at a 51% clip.
EV. Plus EV, Pat.
And I don't think the
Okay,
Cardinals are
but
going to be
you
that
were
team.
saying you want to lay points with the Detroit Lions on the road out west. I'm at a 5 o'clock game. I'm not feeling it. I don't like it.
out
Not doing
west at a 5 o'clock game. I don't think the Lions are great. I think their defense is good, and we don't know what this offense is going to look like. Full stop.
Yep.
And the defense on the Lions is pretty good. They can get to the passers, and there's no one to block.
Yep.
So unless Kyler's just running around everyone, he might have like the 400-yard Cam game, and this offense looks great, and they win by 30 points, maybe. The more realistic way to look at this is that they're going to run the ball down their throats with Garion Johnson, and no one can cover Kenny Galladay. That's the reason I don't love Marv. I get it.
think
But
Galladay's gonna be
I
open
think
the entire
Galladay
time?
is just going to go bananas in this game.
I agree, and I like Galladay a lot, as I'm sure a lot of people do. But I think that's one thing to look at in terms of possible game scripts, which we talk about all the time when it comes to DFS. If you do sort of think the Cardinals, if you're anywhere in the realm of where Tim is on this game, I think the only way the Cardinals win this game is by outscoring the Lions, because I don't think.
Oh no, that is a very good point. You're right. The Cardinals will win if they outscore the Lions. I do agree with
Look,
that. That's very wise.
I phrased that
You're gonna write
stupidly.
one down,
I
like,
phrased that stupidly. But in a high scoring game, I think the only way they win is like 31-24.
So
or
you think
something
if they
along
win
those
the
lines.
over hits. So if you're going to bet the Cardinals, you might as well bet the over along with it. They're
Or
not going to
just-
win a 17-15 game is what
No,
you're saying?
no.
And that's the game that Detroit's going to play.
Yeah.
They're going to try to play that sort of slow, like unless their offense is completely different than last year, which I don't think it's going to be. I don't think Matt Patricia has it in him to like really revamp things there. So they're going to run the ball as much as possible. We might even see fucking C.J. Anderson in this game. I like Garion in this game.
Hey, you're probably going to see him in this game.
Well, I mean, you can't miss him. The guy's huge. Even if he's just standing there. But I like Garion. I like Galladay. And I don't really like the rest. Marv, like you mentioned, I get it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I do like Detroit a lot, though. So Detroit -2.5. You want to talk about that Chargers-Colts game for a second?
Sure.
So
I
we're
think
both.
the Chargers will win if they outscore the Colts.
Well, hopefully so, because they're on your teaser and they're your suicide pick of the week.
You took them in
Yeah,
suicide?
Jeff, with that, why do you think Jeff started to cry on the show?
Yeah, I'm going to take them against a road Colts team without their starting quarterback, their previous starting quarterback, sort of in shambles, against a really, really good Charger team that should take them apart.
Wow, suicide.
So the Chargers are down, and this is kind of my reasoning behind it. This game was, I believe it was 3.5, or it was 3 when Luck was starting. So Luck goes out, it goes to 7. You can find it in 7 in most places. The one I'm looking at right now is 6.5. So let's say Luck is now worth 3.5 points, right? Which I think is credible. I think he is worth probably 3.5, 4 points on a spread. But it doesn't seem to take into consideration anything that's happened to the Chargers. James is out. Okun not playing. They're now down a corner as well. Melvin Gordon's not playing, and I don't think Melvin Gordon's like a linchpin, but he's better than Eckler and he's better than Justin Jackson.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, this is just a little bit wonky to me. And like, I don't think Brissett is bad. I think he's average, maybe slightly below average. But everyone's pointing to 2017 with Jacoby Brissett like that's the guy who he's going to be. This team is completely different. The reason Andrew Luck was hurt is because no one could block for him.
Yeah, it's a good team.
And that same offensive line is the one Jacoby Brissett played behind. Then they got an offensive line. Luck was great, didn't get sacked. Now Jacoby Brissett is behind that line. And their defense is good.
Decent.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's straight up
they,
good.
They, along with the Texans, had an incredibly easy schedule last season. So a lot of their numbers are a little bit inflated because of that. But I agree with you. If you're going to insert a quarterback into a spot where he can thrive if he's not the most talented person in the world, the two things you would ask for every single time are an offensive line to protect him and a capable defense. Even if they're just a top half of the league defense by DVOA by season's end. I think they were 10th last season. So let's just say they finished the year 16th in DVOA. They're probably still going to win 7-8 games. You're right. They shouldn't be a touchdown underdog in this game.
Yeah, I just don't think the Chargers are operating at full health right now. And I think that is not being factored into this line. That's why I do like the Colts here. You want to hear a greasy parlay? I actually parlayed all my Super 7 games together.
Yeah, why
I do
not?
it every week and throw
Sure,
like 10
yeah.
bucks on it. But I have the Lions-Colts parlay. I like it.
Yeah.
If you can throw Denver onto that too. Now, in full disclosure, I'm bad at this. Always lose. And parlays are losing bets. However, this is what I
They
like.
are fun, though.
They are fun. They're fun to you look at the payout, you're like, ooh.
Do you feel like people are more inclined to do parlays week 1 because they just miss doing football parlays?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
I cooked up a nice little one for this weekend.
Well, yeah, because you're looking to buy a farm. So you have to have a parlay that's going to win a farm.
Oh, should we recap Tim's teaser this week?
Please do.
So Tim's free money teaser of the week is a 6-team, 7-point teaser. He has teased Atlanta up to plus 11, the Seahawks down to minus 2.5, the Chargers to plus 0.5, so all they have to do is win, Jacksonville up to 10.5, Oakland to plus 8. Lifetime record. I actually went back and found the real stats. Lifetime record on your free money teasers, Tim, 5-47.
That's all in the past. I'm looking towards the future.
You're not here to talk about the past?
No, I'm not. I'm like Mark McGuire in front of Congress. I'm not interested in talking about the past. I'm looking forward to. I don't like the fact that I was bullied into adding one to my ticket, but nevertheless,
you break this down for us, Garion. He was not bullied into it. He picked the Chargers as his suicide pick. So if any team on the slate that's going to win,
most confident
about the Chargers. He's like, well, I don't want to tease through 0. It's like, sure, you shouldn't tease through 0, yes. But this is the one game you have the most confidence, and you can tease it to a point where all they would have to do is win. He's like, I don't like it. What are you talking about? The game that screws him on this is either Houston or Jacksonville.
you talk about a team that shouldn't be favored by 7 points over someone else.
Definitely not cover.
No, sure, but I just think teasing against the Chiefs the Saints, like teams that can really light it up if they get going.
I'm not so sure the Saints can light it up any more than Houston. I'm sorry. I think that I'm getting the better team with points on the road. A team that I should only have to be getting 3 points or 3.5 points. I'm getting 7 with the Texans. I feel pretty good about that.
It's actually down to 6.5 right now, so you're not even getting a full touchdown.
How could the person stand at the line and lay 7 points with the Saints team against a very good Texans team indoors? I'm sorry, I don't see it.
I like the Saints in this game at home.
They struggle early,
and they didn't struggle early after Hurricane Katrina when they beat the Falcons in the home opener. Tim,
that was also week 3 a year later.
The Saints D this week, fantasy wise, I like them. Obviously, you can't play them on like DraftKings main slate, but they're going to attack. You really think that inserting Tunsil week 1, everything is solved? No. The answer is no to that.
Enough is solved.
I don't think enough is solved.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't go near that.
There's sack potential. They're going to be throwing the football a lot. Those are really
Watson
the two
takes
things
sacks.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, the game that scares me the most on this slate is betting wise is Tennessee Cleveland. I stayed away from it.
Yeah,
I like the Browns, but if this game isn't Cleveland by 50, then the Titans probably cover.
I never know. Look, any version of the Titans that shows up is going to be terrible.
Les Titans?
But some versions are much less terrible than others, and I just don't like betting Titans games.
I'm the most concerned, and even though we have them on our ticket, is Dallas. I don't know what to expect from Dallas, to be honest with you. And I think that the Giants, at as full strength they're going to be, Dallas, that seems like the exact game that Dallas stumbles into like a last-second field goal win in. I'm kind of nervous about Dallas.
I can kind of see that as well. Just they do enough to win, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Like they're not out there to rout them. But maybe they are. Who knows? Maybe it's one of those, hey, we signed Zeke. Let's show off Zeke. What about Zeke in DraftKings? I don't think anyone plays him.
At his price point, I think he's too pricey.
But you just talked about all the value. You can do your Dolphin stack and play Zeke.
Well, I do have a stack. But I mean, I have value. I was able to put Mixon, McCaffrey, and Barkley together in a lineup.
Everyone's going to want to play Barkley and McCaffrey if they have the capability to do so.
I don't know if I'm in on Mixon. Especially since they made Gio the 7th highest paid running back in the league. Like, if they're going to be down by 10, Gio's going to be on the field.
Yeah.
That would worry me.
Also, which side of that terrible offensive line is he going to run behind?
Do you think they have, you remember, playing baseball as kids, you'd have ghost runners? They have, ghost offensive linemen? You got to count to 5.
From the left side?
We don't have a left tackle, but you got to count to 5 before you can rush. You got to count steamboats.
Got to do steamboats? Yeah.
So before we get to you can start loading your questions into the chat right now. I guess I should say goodbye to the audio listeners. Like the show, subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Retweet the show out right now because we're going to get to viewer questions. Tim, any final thoughts for the audio listeners out there?
JETS. Go bet us now in your season totals because you won't get us any cheaper than you're getting us right now.
He won't bet me Jets versus Bills season win totals.
Terrified of the Bills. Terrified.
He's moved on from the Dolphins.
We play
just-
week 17. That'll be the Sunday nighter for the division. I'm certain.
Oh my. Okay, so this
division.
answers the question I had in my head, which was if he has the Jets winning 11 games and he thinks the Bills could win 11 games, and he always secretly likes the Dolphins, even if he doesn't outwardly say it.
We're stacking them this week.
See if the Patriots is what 6-10, 7-9. What's
between 6 and 8, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes
Depends
sense.
how many times Park Avenue tries to screw things in their favor.
Yeah, no, of course you got to factor that in.
Yeah, so leave the 5-star review, DraftKings handle. Something nice about the show. You're going to draw for 20 DK bucks. I'll be back live Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time with the Bukes. Put up your Bukes. Steve, my main man, Buchanan.
Buchanan.
He's going to be here recapping the games, going over the waiver wire. So peace out to the audio podcast. Just remember, we're live every Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And scene. Let's take some viewer questions. Tim, you got 2 bands.
Thank
Retweet
you.
the show out, spread it on social. We're going to try to get to as many of these questions as possible because,
I forgot about the bands, and I'm just so excited.
But you also should lay out the rules.
yeah,
yeah.
if we don't like you, I totally forgot what the
No, your rules, which is don't. What is it? You have to differentiate. Oh, if you just give a last name and it's a multiple last name, we assume it's the worst player on the board.
Yep.
I can't remember.
If I don't like your question, I might ban you for life.
Right. Don't spam the chat by asking the same question multiple times. You're
Don't
banned.
answer each other's
Yeah,
questions.
or you're banned.
Don't answer each other's questions. Don't ask a question that can be answered from the ranks. So don't say, should I play Tyreek Hill or should I play Keenan Allen? There are ranks for those.
Yes, and all the rankings are in the description and comment section of this video right now. So you can just go check those out. They're for PPR purposes. I don't really do standard, so I don't care if you have standard questions. Ban you too with your stupid fucking standard questions. It's only there to keep the chat going, that we can get to as many of these as possible, that we're not answering repeats. We're not answering really obvious ones. So we do want to get to everyone's questions. So let's do this. Number 1, question from me to Garion. How many questions until Tim is out of bands? 10?
I feel like, here's the thing. I'm going to say it's a low number because people have been waiting for this for like 6-7 months now. They've probably been sitting on questions for a long time, and I think they just want to get them out of their system right away. So I'm going to say 8 questions he's out of bands.
Okay. Brandon, question number 1. Will Fuller, Curtis Samuel, or Lat Murray for PPR flex? I like Will Fuller.
Yeah, I would take Will Fuller too.
I would take Murray in the running back.
Murray?
Yeah.
Brand is staying consistent at least.
Yes, if
season to
people
season.
people are unfamiliar with Tim, always play a running back in the flex.
Well, no, it's as if that's my sort of like personal view on things. That is a tried and true thing that when in doubt, take a running back.
I think the best suggestion for your flex is to play the better player.
Yeah, I would say that's.
That would be
you're
mine.
onto something there.
Those 3 are very close, though. I think
Yes.
Fuller has the highest upside, though. What the hell was
What
that?
the heck?
Tim playing some tunes over there, getting ready. Wesley asks, pick one and why. I don't know if we have time for the why, Wes, but Gallup, Boyd, or Dede. I'd play Dede because I'll tell you why. I love me some Dede.
I would play Boyd. I think that's garbage time waiting to happen.
I'm also going to play Boyd.
I think that's the spot. Like, those 2 are very close. I don't think Gallup deserves to be in that conversation.
No, agreed.
Would you start Corey Davis or Hunter Renfro over Robbie Andercust? I'd play Davis over him.
I would play Renfro over him.
You
play
play
Davis.
Renfro over Davis? You already talked about how much you like Corey Davis.
Yeah, I would play Davis too. I'd play both of those guys over.
I'd play Corey Davis.
I'd play Corey Davis. Tyrell Williams, Jarvis Landry, or Marquise Goodwin? I'd play Landry.
Yep.
Williams, not close. He's going to have a huge night. Huge.
Huge.
I wish I could play him in DK, but I can't.
You can. You just play the showdown slate tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I can play the showdown slate, but I'm not great at those.
Okay. Milan asks, Odell or Julio today?
What
I'd
question
play-
is that?
No, for like, I mean, it's a
DFS.
DraftKings question, Tim. I'd play
Well,
Odell.
first, look at your ranks because they're both receivers, but
Yeah, but that's a
there's no
DraftKings
pricing
question.
there.
There's pricing involved.
I almost wanted to use it. No, I'm not going to. I will take. I'll take.
That would have been
I don't like that question. I think
I'll take Odell.
Would you play Tyler Boyd, Christian Kirk, or Dante Pettis? I think that's Boyd, and that's not close.
Yeah, that is Boyd.
I think it's Boyd, but there's a case to be made for Pettis to be sure.
The Pettis file? Oh, nothing on that. What if we just start calling him Epstein? Zach asks, I have Fournette and Freeman in my running back spot and flex. How worried should I be about the injury?
I don't know what his problem is.
I'm going to use the band. Fuck you. You're banned.
Nice.
Oh, this guy's answering people's questions. You're banned.
I forgot about all this.
This guy's answering people's questions. You're banned for life. This guy's just making random statements. You're banned for life. Fuck all of you. Where are the real questions? We're trying to help the people.
Have to be made.
Trying to help the people here. Let's see. Oh, now, here we
How
go.
you develop a loyal fan base by banning those who cause annoyances.
Agreed. People love when people get banned. Except for the people that get banned. They get all
They're not
sad.
so crazy about it.
Robert asks, full point PPR. Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Philip Lindsay, or Sony Michel. I like Jacobs and I like Michel.
I'm going to say
Jacobs
Jacobs
and
and Eckler.
Yeah, Gary and I agree.
I like Sony. If I think the Patriots are going to win, I like Sony. Sorny Michel.
Sorny Michelle.
Yeah. Joe, Greg Olson, or VD, full point PPR. I don't know if the Eagles defense has gone to the clinic yet and got that spray you have to put on to the warts to make sure that they go away after 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
no, it's Sunday morning. You don't need this.
I'm going to
filth
take
on
Vernon
the air
Davis.
on
Oh,
Sunday
wait.
morning.
So that was the line.
Yeah, not my
Not
pedophile jokes.
pedophile
As you see,
joke.
I didn't respond to that terrible joke either.
You laughed at the one part.
Well, just
Yeah. I'm gonna say Vernon Davis too.
I'm going to say Vernon Davis. Tim, you're going Greg
No,
Olson?
I'll take Olson.
Camp Seaman, Latavius Murray, Christian Kirk, Peyton Barber, Dante Pettis start two. In this spot,
Barber for sure.
I'll take Murray and Barber, actually. I'll take the two running
Yeah,
backs.
agreed.
Yeah.
I worry about Barber, but
So good.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Phillip Rivers or Josh Allen? 6 points for TDs for QB. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Rivers, but I'm not wedded to it.
Look, if you want 15 points, take Phil.
If you want 1,000,000 points, take Josh Allen.
Here you go.
Problem solved.
There's a lot more
Tremaine is
upside
going
with
to
Josh
pick him
Allen.
off a couple of times.
That's fine. Josh Allen's definitely going to
Yeah.
throw some picks. I'm not too concerned about the -1 that comes along with it. Start Diggs or Tyler Boyd? I would go Boyd.
Boyd.
Diggs.
Tim is starting Diggs, so this is true. Anthony Mead asks, Tyler Lockett, Chris Godwin, or Duke Johnson in my flex? I'd play Godwin.
I would also play Godwin.
I would play Godwin, so there's a rare spot where I would take the receiver over the back.
All right. Matt Ryan or Kyler Murray? I'd play Matt Ryan.
I play Matt Ryan, yep.
Matt Ryan.
Is Mike Evans playing? Tim?
Ban him.
Banned for life! There's one!
That's
Yeah.
a ridiculous
I
waste
really
of our
thought
time.
people were
Oh,
gonna...
the hall monitor is
I'm
back!
back!
Favorite 6K range wide receiver on DK? Lockett, Boyd, Jeffrey, or other? I like Galladay,
I was
$6,300.
gonna say Galladay.
That's my guy.
I would take Boyd, I suppose.
You would go Boyd over Galladay?
Yeah, I think so. I think that he's going to be pretty good. I think he's there to clean up when it comes to garbage points.
Tim, are you afraid that Chris Jones was on the Lions practice squad last year and therefore he covered Kenny Galladay a lot last year and he knows his skill set?
No, I don't even know what impersonation you're doing here.
Start two. Geis, James White, Tevin Coleman. I'd play White and Coleman.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hilton or Brandon Cooks?
Cooks.
Hilton.
I have a free $25 bet on DraftKings Sportsbook. What should I do with it? Cash it out. Just take the money and run, man. I would go. I don't have like the DK updates in front of me. I would probably go. Like I said, I like Detroit and I like the Colts. Colts 6.5 or Colts 7 would be my play.
Yeah, I like if you just want to put it on the Colts. If you want to do something fun with it, like a parlay, I don't mind Colts Chiefs.
Colts, Chiefs, Lions, Broncos.
Yeah, well, just keep adding. Who
Keep
cares?
adding game. Look,
Free bet, who
look at the
cares?
payout. Tim, if you had $25 put down on one thing this week, what would it be?
That's a good question. I think I would put it on a parlay, and I would connect the Chargers and the Texans.
This guy's asking. This is someone else asking Diggs or Boyd, non-PPR, but I'm still going Boyd.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Okay.
In that case, non-PPR, I would take Boyd.
I would just take Boyd in both. Adam asked, because he's about to be banned for life, so I'm going to do this as a very straight-up question, the type of question people shouldn't ask in this scenario. Is Tyrell Williams a good play since AB not there anymore? Banned for life.
I will answer his question, though, and say yes.
There is nothing to base that on. But what if he has Odell, Julio, and Adam Thielen as his receivers?
I do think
is he
he is
then
a
a good
good
play?
I don't know. Tim said Tyrell Williams is gonna be really good.
I think Williams is going to have a big, big week, yes.
Josh Gordon or Dede? Dede.
Dede.
Yeah, sure.
Dion Lewis, Hump Daddy, or I was going to say Mike Singletary, but Devin Singletary.
Ooh.
I'd probably play Hump Daddy. or Dion Lewis. I'm not bullish on anyone in the Bills backfield, like I mentioned.
I will stick to my guns and go with Singletary because I think he's going to be the guy there.
I think Humphreys is probably just your safest play there.
Oh, this guy says, I played Vernon Davis once. He got 0.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
Banned for life, pal. Who has more upside, Boyd, Dede, or Gallup? It's Dede. Dede has the most upside.
Dede has a lot of upside. Yeah.
I think that Boyd does. He could be A.J. Green redo if the opportunity arises.
Who do you like more in PPR, Gurley and Ingram or C. McC and Walker? I like Gurley and Ingram.
C.
There's two parts. I guess Delaney Walker is Tim's number 3 tight end.
That lines up pretty much with Tim's interests.
For this week, I like Gurley and Ingram.
I would agree.
I think for the season, I would want McCaffrey. But
McCaffrey and replacement level tight end is fine.
I assume that this is for DraftKings this week.
Have to think so.
Pick 2. See, this is a better one involving Tyrell Williams. Tyrell the Gazelle Williams, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Andercust, or James Washington. There I would go Samuel and Tyrell Williams.
Yep, I agree.
Williams and Anderson.
Who should I play? Devonta Freeman, Sony Michel, or Rashad Penny? I play Freeman.
Yep, Freeman.
Yeah, I agree.
Robbie Anderson or Gallup? I'd still play Robbie Anderson.
At that point, you're still playing
I have that
Anderson,
exact decision, and I'm playing Anderson.
So play Gallup. That's very clear based on that. 10-team PPR, Josh Jacobs or Chris Godwin? That's really close. I love Josh Jacobs, but
I think it's
Jacobs.
Godwin now.
I think it's Godwin.
I think it's Jacobs. He's the back. It's close, but I'll take him.
Favorite Colts stack since Tim cursed the Chargers this week? I just think it's a low-scoring game.
I don't think they win a game with like 31 points.
Oh, this guy.
I'm not even going to give him what he wants, which I know why he asked that question, and I'm not going to give it to him.
This guy said it, one of the rules that we forgot. Don't ever ask about that evil Mark Ingram.
Oh yeah. Good
well,
point.
that goes without saying.
But he did just bring up Mark Ingram.
No,
to make that point.
he's reminding us.
Maybe he did it as a sacrificial lamb. He should be rewarded by having
being
his
banned
soul
for life?
sacrificed.
No, he's doing the Lord's work by mentioning that, but don't ever mention it again.
Joe asked, T.Y. Hilton or Emmanuel Sanders? It's T.Y. Hilton.
It's T.Y. Hilton.
Of course, it's Hilton. Yeah.
Yeah, Sanders is a fine play.
Yeah.
Would you go
I
DJ
still like that
Moore?
I drafted him.
DJ Moore or Tevin Coleman in the flex?
Coleman.
I'd go Coleman.
Yeah.
That's very close, though. I like DJ Moore this week. Had Antonio Brown, so who should I go with? Crowder or Moncrief in standard? Moncrief in standard.
Yeah, I agree.
Crowder, but I'm cool with either, to be frank.
Because like you said, Crowder is very much in line for a 7-catch,
8 for 70.
44-yard game
Yeah.
or something like that.
Should I play Diggs, Curtis Samuel, or Duke Johnson?
Diggs, Curtis Samuel,
Duke Johnson.
Yeah, Duke.
Yes. Duke, I guess.
Robbie Anderson, Dante Moncrief, or Cortland Sutton? Go Moncrief.
Yeah, I'll go Anderson, I guess.
Should I play Stefon Diggs or Tyler? A lot of people have this Stefon Diggs, Tyler Boyd situation. Tyler Boyd is what we're going with.
yeah.
Also, you can just look at the rankings for stuff like that. Should I play Tyreek Hill or should I play Keenan Allen? I play Tyreek Hill.
I agree.
I would play Allen. I'm worried about Ramsey in that. Between those two, the Ramsey factor is enough for me to go with Allen.
I get what you're saying. Like if you were in a situation where this was Monday night and those two guys were playing in the same theoretical matchups that they have right now and you needed 5 points, Keenan Allen would be the play. But banned for life. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that. But
What?
I want to have you can't see. The upside of Tyreek Hill I think is just too much to pass on here. Almost every single week versus like similar type. Like he's not Keenan Allen isn't Julio. Keenan Allen isn't DeAndre Hopkins. He's not an elite level guy. He's the next tier down. Tyreek Hill lives somewhere between the elite tier and that next tier down. So I would always go with Tyreek Hill. Would you go?
Like Patrick Swayze in Ghost?
Yeah, the Sways.
Interesting.
Or Patrick Swayze right now for all we know. Austin Eckler.
None of us is Whoopi Goldberg.
Austin Eckler or D.D. Westbrook. I play D.D.
I would play Eckler.
I would play Eckler.
Mayfield versus Watson. I play Watson this week.
I agree.
You could have said anything after Mayfield, and I would have taken whatever you said afterwards.
Would you like to make a wager on that?
Between Watson and Mayfield? I
No,
don't know
you said anyone. So you get Derek Carr, I get Baker Mayfield.
I still think I would probably win that. But no, I'm not going to do that.
If you think you would win that,
How about
what level of quarterback would you have? Like you pick a quarterback.
Mariota-san or Baker Mayfield?
No.
But do you like Mariota better?
How about Safe Space Sam?
So good.
More DraftKings points this week. Sam versus Mayfield. I'll take Mayfield.
Yeah, I'll take Sam.
All right.
Here we go.
The bet is on. I like it.
Although we don't have any stakes.
Then it's not a bet.
But we don't have any. We just said, I'll bet you.
There's a standard
Yeah,
set
we'll
of
do
stakes.
our standard bet that we always
All
do
right,
on these
fine.
sort of things.
I like Sam's chances.
This is amazing.
And it's good.
Free money.
Jordan
Picking a
asks,
better quarterback, and I don't have to give odds.
Jordan says Waller hardly newer or Mark Andrews. I like Waller.
I will stick Waller.
Andrews.
Many talking heads love Jags over Chiefs. Do the Chiefs cover -3? I say yes. I say yes. You say yes.
This talking head also says yes.
Tim says no.
I say Jacksonville, and I say you should have listened earlier when we talked about this for 15 minutes. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thoughts on Cowboys D? Easy first couple weeks. I think they're the number one
Yep.
defense weeks 1 through 3.
Fantastic.
They were once it was brought to my. I was drafting Philly everywhere because I objectively liked.
I was drafting Cowboys everywhere.
Yeah, Cowboys was the move because now you don't have to pick up a defense for 3 weeks. They have 3 super easy matchups. Let's see.
It's the one benefit of knowing the Dolphins schedule.
Here we go. Higher flex upside. Austin Eckler or Mark banned for life Ingram. Go fuck yourself. Stefan banned for life.
Banned.
Stefon Diggs scares me. So would you play Latavius Murray or Rashad Penny over him? Maybe.
I would say get some courage and play Diggs.
You know what? I would play Diggs.
I would play Diggs too. Latavius is the only one I would consider there.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
as high on
if-
Penny as everyone else
No.
is. What happens to Josh Gordon now that Antonio Brown is New England? That's more of like a tomorrow.
That is
type
not
question.
a question that matters for start.
Oh, that was another rule: is don't ask waiver wire questions.
That is true. That's not really a waiver.
That's
wire
not really, but it's in.
But
that
it's a
vein.
question that has
It's a week 2
absolutely no,
question.
it isn't germane to what we're talking about. So, and the next person to ask one of those is going to be launched.
Gallup, Geis, Christian Kirk. I go Geis.
Me too.
Kirk.
This is for you, Don Geis.
No, wait. Now, do people get that?
No,
I think they do. That was a very popular network TV show.
from like when was 30 Rock on?
2006.
Is that
Podcast
well?
is up.
7?
Yeah, if you've missed the first part of the show and you don't want to rewind the video, go to iTunes right now. The podcast is actually up. Boom! Stuff is
Give
happening
it a
while we're
ranking
live
while
on.
you're at it.
Yeah, there you go. 5-star review. Just like if you want to get into the draw this week.
Do you think Darius Geis is a Don Geis or a Kathy Geis?
Hopefully not a Kathy Geis. Will Kareem? No, I don't care if Kareem Hunt has late season value. Fuck you, Ryan.
All right, no.
That is a
we
waiver
just
wire question.
ask those types of questions. You
That
have
is-
to go.
That is true. Banned for life. Matt Breda or Calvin Ridley? I'll go Ridley.
Ridley.
Breda.
Oh, Mark Ingram or Leonard Fournette? Banned for life.
That's not even. What?
Geis or Barber? I'll go Geis.
Oh.
I'll go Geis.
I will also go Geis.
I will take Barber.
Need 3. Eckler, Duke, Damian Williams, Will Fuller.
I think the first 3.
I think the last 3.
You'd sit Eckler?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Duke first. No, Eckler, Duke. Sorry, I don't know. Now I'm all confused.
I'm taking the running backs.
I take the 3 running backs as well.
Yeah, I'm all confused.
We'll throw this out here right now. I'm asking this question. Pat's up next in the chat.
Be careful, don't get banned.
I don't want to get banned for
Who
life.
will host the show?
That would be you could host the show. Tim can host the show. It would be just like when Garth had to host Wayne's World. It would just be
Oh.
we're having a good time. Not. Give me a projection for Damian Williams today. Touches, yardage, points.
I'm going to say 15 touches.
I'll give you 15 touches.
Oh, the pedestal.
You're an adult!
Am I?
Oh, I hope so. You showed me your ID, Garion.
15 touches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Tim?
I would say less in all of those things. I don't know, like 12 touches, maybe like 60 yards, no touchdown.
I'll go 18 touches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. I think he's all right
Also,
this week.
Garion's only had like 6 real birthdays, so in some ways he is.
Oh, God.
only, like,
It's true.
No one loves leap year more than you. Leap year birthday.
Hate leap years.
Marlon Mack or Chris Godwin? Chris Godwin.
Yes.
That's from Alan Klotz.
Oh,
That's a good last name.
I'll take Mac, actually. I want the back.
strong name. I assume it's spelled with a K.
Oh, yeah. Of course. If it's spelled with a C, you'd get fucking banned for life. Eckler, Duke Johnson. I'll go Eckler.
Eckler.
Hardly newer. Robbie Anderson or Will Fuller?
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller for
Yeah,
me.
This
Will
is
Fuller,
actually-
he's such a good player. I think if he could stay healthy, he could really do
Very,
some
very
damage.
T.Y. Hilton or Curtis Samuel? T.Y. Hilton.
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 Let's see. Fuller or Drake? I go Fuller.
I would also go Fuller.
Fuller.
We did Breda versus Ridley, right?
Yeah.
Ridley?
Yes.
Breda.
Galladay or Damian Williams? I would take Galladay.
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 Damian Williams or Dede in the flex? Ooh,
I'm going to take Damian.
DD.
I'll take Dede.
Really? You just said Damian Williams gets 18 touches, 90 yards, and a touchdown?
Yeah, did you not hear my D.D. Westbrook projection?
Let's hear it.
14 catches, 387 yards, 2 return touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown, and 5 receiving touchdowns.
BDN does love catching a touchdown.
I think there's actually a floor with D.D.
I
listen,
agree.
if I'm making a projection, I'm wrong all the time, remember?
I would just say it was surprising. When you gave your Damian Williams projection, I was like, wow, I might even have to consider playing this guy on DK this week.
I think he's actually a pretty good, like almost in the same vein as like Gurley's a good DK play because of the unknown and the circumstances around him, just like Zeke.
Incredibly high
Damian
upside.
Williams' ceiling is huge.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, is Darius Geis a running back too this week? If your running backs are bad, sure.
I'm gonna say he's flex at best. But
Again,
sure.
that's a stupidly worded question.
No,
Like,
that's fine. That's fine. It's on the edge, but it's fine.
Stop being so soft. It's a bad question.
Oh, this guy says, speak on Breda. The chat demands it. Then he posted it like 5 times. You are banned for life, asshole.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders or Kenyon Drake? Probably play Sanders.
I'll take view from the 6 there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Nah, Sanders.
James White or Damian Williams? I played Damian Williams. They're
Williams.
like back to back in my rankings though.
White
Yeah, I
is a
like
must.
White.
White is an always play. I'm never benching him under pretty much any circumstances.
Gurley or James White?
I would play White. I would in a PPR, not a standard, of course, but in a PPR, I'm going to play White. He's going to play. He's going to get catches. He's their number 1 goal line scorer. Like Gurley has arthritis in his knee, and as marvelous.
Look, the only case you have against Gurley is that we don't know if he's going to play more than like 60% of the snaps. We know and look, I like James White a lot, but we know he's only going to play 60% of the snaps.
This is true. Would you play
care.
Breda or Westbrook?
Didi.
Yeah, sure.
Breda or Miles Sanders? I'd actually roll the dice on Miles Sanders.
Breda.
Sorry, Breda?
Yeah.
I'd take Breda there.
All right.
No, I take Breda. I don't trust Sanders yet.
Josh Gordon or Tyler Lockett? Your nemesis, Tyler Lockett.
Taking Josh Gordon.
I'm going to take Josh Gordon as well.
Okay. Darius Geis, Josh Gordon, or D.D. Westbrook? I'd go Westbrook.
I'll take Geis and take a roll of the dice with him.
Take Westbrook.
Yeah.
How high do you have Geis if you're taking over Westbrook?
I just think he's going to be the predominant ball carrier. That's all.
Okay.
Breda, Moncrief, Fuller, Sammy Watkins, or Robbie Anderson in the flex?
Fuller or Watkins. I suppose you could go either way. I would take Fuller.
I think it's Watkins. Watkins or Fuller, but I'll go Watkins.
Okay.
Pettis, Sterling, or Derrick Henry, PPR flex?
Derrick Henry.
Sterling.
I think you take Sterling Shepard over. I hate Derrick Henry.
take
But
Derrick
It's Sterling and a bunch of nobodies there in New York.
Your whole philosophy is taking a running back who you think is going to get a majority of the touches.
Yeah, but Sterling is sort of like a castaway. He's the only guy on the island other than Barkley. So I'm going to take
Ingram is there for one thing.
whatever.
Listen,
I don't really love Evan Ingram.
I don't like Derrick Henry, but in this circumstance, he's the play.
Remind me to stop trying
To-
consistency and logic in his
Yeah,
reasons
that doesn't
for
work
things.
with
It
Tim.
really
Come on.
messes with my head.
Larry Fitz or Curtis Samuel?
Samuel.
I like Samuel on that spot.
Well, I don't think Fitzgerald has anything left.
Oh,
That's sad.
nothing left. Cup or Westbrook? Westbrook. Pettis
Yeah.
or Miles Sanders? Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders there.
Pettis.
Bench 1, Stefon Diggs, Will Fuller, or Tyler Lockett?
Diggs.
Lockett.
I think
I'd
Fuller's
probably-
right on the cusp for me with
I have Diggs ahead of Fuller, so I'll say bench Fuller. I think that's where like the break was between them. Curtis Samuel, Tyrell Williams, Matt Breda, or James White? Full point PPR. That's
White.
James White.
Yep.
It is White.
Pick 2, PPR. Chubb, Cook, Sony Michelle. I think it's Chubb and Cook.
Yep.
Yeah, bench Michelle.
We already did that one. Penny or Murray? Like Latavius Murray.
Yeah, Latavius.
Breda or Barkley?
All right, that's it. I'm using my band.
You're using your second band? There's
That's
so
not
many.
a serious question. That's somebody just trolling for clicks. Get him out of here.
Band for life. There we are. Breda or Miles Sanders, I believe. Did we do that one?
No, I don't think we have done that.
No,
yeah, we did.
Miles
We did.
Sanders.
I'm going to go Breda.
You're going to go
I
Breda.
think Tim's going Breda too.
Cole Beasley or Marvin Jones? There, I'd probably still go Marvin Jones.
Marv.
Yeah, there I'd say Marv.
Let's see. Tevin Coleman or Calvin Ridley? I'd go Ridley.
Ridley, but that's close.
Coleman.
Emmanuel Sanders, Jarvis Landry, or Justin Jackson? I take Landry.
Yeah. The Jerv.
Yeah, I think I would too.
This is a very close one. Breda or Josh Gordon? Or Melvin Gordon, potentially. That way I would play Breda.
I'd play Josh Gordon.
I would play Josh Gordon.
I would play Josh Gordon as well. Chris Godwin or Josh Jacobs? Godwin.
We did this one already, but Godwin. It's close.
Did we do that one?
Jacobs.
This chat skipped on me, so we might just keep doing
It's
the same
fine. It's
questions
an
over and
interesting question, nonetheless.
over. Duke Johnson or Chris Godwin? I go Chris Godwin.
Godwin.
Yep.
Ravens D or Saints D? I like Saints D, but you play Ravens D.
Ravens do.
Yeah, I like
The Dolphins don't employ an offensive line.
They have ghost offensive linemen.
Yes.
Maybe they'll spook the defense because they're ghosts.
Ghosts.
Diggs or Kirk? I still like Diggs in that spot.
Yeah, that I will take Diggs.
Betting-
I can dig it.
This guy saying I'm betting 2K on a 2-team parlay. Give me 2 winners.
Colts and Chiefs.
Colts, Lions, points.
Honestly, if it's just on winners, take the Patriots and take the Seahawks, and then you're fine.
You said the Steelers were going to win.
No, the Steelers are going to cover. I don't think they're going to win.
Oh, that's a narrow margin.
Yeah. Ty Montgomery or Jamison Crowder? I like Crowder.
Crowder.
Oh, I love them both.
Yeah, of course you
I
do.
love them both so much.
I think they're both going to be fantastic today, too.
It's a real catch-up, catsup situation.
I'm telling you, Montgomery will be like the number 1 or 2 most picked up guy off the waiver wire after this week. I'm going to lay down that marker right now. People are going to.
How many markers are you laying
Do you
down?
think people get confused because everyone's dropping David Montgomery?
No, I'm just telling you right now that Ty Montgomery is going to be a fundamental player in this offense, and he is going to make some beautiful plays, and you want him now.
So if that's the case, why did you keep Le'Veon Bell in the first
Because
round?
Bell
of
is
our league?
also going to be fantastic. I tell you, this Jets team is going to be really, really.
They're
really
going to score 900 points this year.
No, they're going to have the best offense in the division.
You know who would help with that is D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah, that would be nice. Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, or Juju? Pick 2. So Juju and Lockett.
Juju and Lockett, yeah.
Yeah, same. I don't want Tampa, Mike.
People are asking too many Matt Breida questions. If anyone asks another Matt Breida question, you're being banned for life. Throwing that out there right now. Maybe even if you already commented Breida, I might ban you for life. Fuck off. Give the episode a like, by the way. Goes a long way.
Post facto laws.
TJ Hawkinson or Vernon Davis? I like VD.
Yeah.
I'll take Hawkinson.
Okay. Breida or Crowder?
Oh, Crowder.
Crowder.
In PPR. In standard, I would actually go Breida. Yep. Breida or Lockett? Lockett.
Breida.
Who's the one talking up Breida that I'm not aware of that
don't know.
everyone loves him
Also,
so much?
didn't you say not to put that question forward?
Yeah, but we're still we're not to that point of the chat.
But then you
where-
said if they did it, you would throw them out anyway?
He said he would think about it. He didn't say he was going to.
Tim only hears again. Tim's living his truth. He hears what he wants to hear.
Ban them.
Marlon Mack or Josh Gordon? I'll take Josh Gordon.
I'll take Marlon Mack.
Mac.
Samuel versus Geis. I would play Geis.
Geis.
Yes.
Damian Williams or Austin Eckler? I'll actually play Damian Williams.
I'll play
Eckler.
Damian Williams there.
DJ Moore or Matt Breida? DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Damn.
You're out of bands, pal. You can't
I know.
ban.
I'm asking you to do it.
No, we're not at the fucking bottom of the chat, you moron.
We're running out of
Do you
time.
not know how this works? We do it
Right.
every fucking week.
I know, but we're running out of time for bans.
Gotta get my fix in.
We have a 3-minute warning. 1-word answers on all of these.
Oh, like the CFL.
Banned!
Shut him off. Tim's out of here. It'll be me and Garion for the rest of the show. Thank you. He's on mute, so it's me and you back and forth. He's been banned for the rest of the show. Cooks, Lockett, or Galladay?
Galladay.
Miles Sanders or Dante Pettis?
Pettis.
I will go Miles Sanders. Breida or Mack? I'll go Mack.
Mack.
Mike Williams or Lockett, or
Lockett.
Tyreek
Oh.
Hill. Pick 2.
Lockett and Hill.
I'll go, Lockett and Hill for me as well. Justice Hill or Mal Gelato? That's kind of funny. James White or Duke? Yeah, he's supposed to be fucking banned for life. He's muted. Oh, he's muted. I can still hear him. Fuck off. James White or Duke Johnson? James White.
James White.
I'm taking out the earpiece. I can hear him laughing like a maniac. Cup or Westbrook? Westbrook.
Oh, Westbrook.
Latavius Murray or Miles Sanders? I'll go to Latavius Murray.
Latavius.
You take out the earpiece. I'll do these then. You're also banned. Put me on the one. I'm going to rattle through these questions here before we go out. Godwin, Lindsey, or Diggs? He's also starting Evans. I would go Chris Godwin in that spot. Dede or Robert Woods? Half point, Dede Westbrook. Gary's crying over here, people. He's crying. You've made Garion cry, Tim. I hope you're happy. Let's see here. Marvin Jones or Cole Beasley? Marvin Jones. This guy's asking about Jared Cook. He's going to be. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Darren Waller or Greg Olsen on DK. I mean, they're not on the same slate, so that doesn't make any sense. So I just still say Darren Waller. Flacco or Mariota? I'd play Flacco. This guy's asking about Mark Ingram. He's banned for life.
I'm back.
Josh, oh, you're back?
I'm back.
Josh Allen or Kirk Cousins? I'll take Kirk Cousins.
I'll take Kirk Cousins.
Flash Gordon, Calvin Ridley, Miles Sanders. I'll play Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
This one's actually pretty funny. Breda or kill myself. Josh Gordon or Marvin Jones? Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
Boyd or Lockett? Boyd.
Boyd.
Sutton or Freeman? I guess that's Royce Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take Cortland Sutton.
Sutton.
Lions D or Eagles D? Eagles D.
Eagles D.
Lamar Jackson or Mayfield? Mayfield.
Mayfield.
Moncrief or Geis?
Moncrief.
I'd take Geis. Jarvis or Kirk? Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Galladay, Tyrell Williams, Duke Johnson, or Josh Jacobs. Pick one. I'll go Kenny Galladay.
Galladay.
Boyd or Lockett?
Boyd.
Josh Jacobs or Tevin Coleman? I'll take Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Sutton, or they already asked that one. Ebron or Mark Andrews? I'll take Ebron.
Ebron.
For DK, Winston Lions D or Lamar Jackson Cowboys D? I like Winston Lions D.
I agree.
Need two. Geis, Barber, Duke Johnson, Jacobs. I'll take Duke and Jacobs.
Agree.
Marvin Jones or Josh Gordon? Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
All right. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. DJ Moore.
Moore.
Flash Gordon, Calvin Ridley, or Miles Sanders? I'll take Ridley, actually.
I'll take Gordon.
Jarvis or Mike Williams? Mike Williams.
I'll take Mike Williams, yeah.
Oh, he just skipped on me in the chat. There we are. Galladay or Boyd? Galladay.
Galladay.
Boyd or Westbrook? Westbrook.
Yes.
These people are asking. I don't have time to ban people anymore. They know. Ebron or Vernon Davis? I'll take Vernon Davis.
I'll take Ebron there.
Lion already did that one. Cup or Pettis? I'll take Cup.
Yes.
Sanders or Justin Jackson? Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders for me. PPR, James White, DJ Moore, Josh Jacobs. I'll take Josh Jacobs.
I'll take James White.
Okay. Geis or Josh Gordon? I'll take Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
Westbrook or Duke Johnson? Westbrook.
DD, yeah.
Okay. Jarvis or Mike Williams? Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
People are just doubling up. Kittle or Walker? Come on now. It's Kittle. Everyone knows that. Ebron or Goddard with Wentz stack? I guess if you're playing a Wentz stack, you play Goddard, but just play Ertz. What are you doing? Don't think yourself here. James White, Curtis Samuel, or Tyrell Williams? James White.
James White.
Pettis or Djax? I'll take Pettis.
Yeah.
That's close, though. It's a close one. Kyler Murray or Dak? I'll take Kyler.
Yeah,
Let's roll the
Kyler.
dice with
Sure.
Kyler. Sutton or... People keep asking that one. Yeah, I'll just go to the very bottom here, see what's up. Barber or Drake in the flex? Barber.
Barber.
Bell or Fournette? I like Fournette.
Yeah, Fournette.
On DK, Ridley or Watkins? I like Watkins.
I'd go Ridley.
Diggs or Pettis? Diggs.
Yeah.
Lockett or Michelle PPR? I'd say Sony, actually. I like both
Sony.
of them.
Yeah.
I like Sony in that spot. Miles Sanders or Devin Singletary? I like Sanders.
Sanders.
Hooper, Ebron. I take Hooper.
Yes.
Josh Gordon or Jarvis Landry? Josh Gordon.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson or Garoppolo? Lamar.
Lamar.
Geis or Sanders? Geis.
Geis.
By a spot for me. Mack or Godwin? Godwin.
Godwin.
Coleman or Cup?
Cup.
I'll take Coleman. Bell or Fournette? PPR.
Fournette.
Fournette? Let's see. You got time for 5 more, all right? Geis or Eckler? Eckler.
Eckler.
Albert Wilson, Jack Doyle, or Robbie Anderson? Albert Wilson.
Yep.
Chris Godwin or D.D. Westbrook? D.D. Westbrook.
D.D.
Fitzpatrick or Flacco?
Fitz.
I'll take Flacco. Last one of the show, Cam Newton or Cousins? Cam Newton.
Cam.
Sorry for all the people putting in your questions now. You should have tuned in while the show was on, not 3 minutes after it was over. Is Tim still on the line? All right, we're not even, you know what? Don't even bring him back in. I'll thank Tim for being on the show. I'll thank Garion for being on the show. You can catch everything on demand. It's all up video-wise and audio-wise right now as we break down everything. The Sweat is coming up at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the DraftKings YouTube page and on the DraftKings Facebook page and the DK Live app. So go check that out. All of my stuff is up for free on DKPlaybook.com, and hit the description if you want to find all of the updated rankings, because I have them all updated right to the moment. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you didn't get banned for life. Like the show on the way out because it keeps the show free. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time right here on the DK YouTube channel and the PME Facebook page, breaking down all the games that just happened, the snap shares, and the waiver wire pickups of the week. All right? I'm Pat Mayo. Good luck in week 1. It's here. I'll see you next time.